Have you seen the automated virtual presence nurse cameras in hospitals yet? No, but here's what people don't, well, I don't know if people understand, I guess, is that the whole telehealth stuff, so that really came in boom in 2020. I mean, it was already in the healthcare system, but it wasn't widespread. In 2020, it brought it in widespread. That is just being a tool to help condition people to accept the robotic that they want to say is tech advancement. Okay, yeah. Because when you have a covert revolution going on and you have a ton of Americans that write it off as, oh, conspiracy theory, yet even Congressman Ron Johnson in Wisconsin has done, he's done meetings about it that you can find, talking about Agenda 2030, all of this. The piece he doesn't talk about, which I think is the piece I try to bring up a lot, is the associations, because if those associations hadn't been in place, we wouldn't be in this place right now. Healthcare, and honestly, I don't see how this ends. I mean, I don't know. I think the only way that any justice will be served is that if at some point there's somebody level-headed in military that will go in and arrest these people because they're a danger to our country, period. And I'm talking about CEOs. Obviously, I don't mean every single CEO, but your big corporations, your healthcare, your institution, all that, they are on board with all this through the associations. And then the government in with the associations is what's created this fourth arm of branch of government that is not part of our Constitution, but is dictating everything. So I don't see how this works out unless we have military tribunals. Because I don't, are there some judges that can do the right thing? Well, first of all, they take forever. I don't think America has forever. And I think because it seems to take them so long, those that do have a level of common sense and know how to do the right thing, it seems so long for them to get there that I think it would have to go to the hands of the military if there's any chance of saving America. It's just my opinion. I did hear about a hospital. It's in Cook County, but it's not in Chicago. It's right outside of Chicago. That did bring in, like a year ago, what's known as Moxie. This is Moxie. Yeah, I didn't work at the hospital, but I was told about it. Moxie can listen to your troubles. Moxie can bring you water, can just, the nurse puts whatever they want on the tray and takes it to the patient. And most nurses in hospitals have been told, oh, your jobs can't go anywhere. Nobody can replace nurses. Well, they're already in some states, because of the credentialing boards, they're already in some states bringing in medication aides. These are people that'll go to school for 6 weeks or 2 months, something like that, get some training on meds, and then they're going to come in so that they don't have to hire nurses, because it's not like you can't expect at this late stage of the game for the nursing, medical, or hospital associations to get honest. They've been lying for decades about there being a nurse shortage, and there's not. The nursing professions have been saying there's a nurse shortage because that's what the CEOs say why we can't hire anybody, when really it would look bad for them, even though it's true, if they said we're total scumbags and we just don't want to dish out the money to have the best care possible. So instead of being honest, because they don't know how to be honest, they've played this game that there's a nursing shortage. But I've said how that's absolutely not true. It hasn't been true for a very, very long time, because for decades and decades, the nursing programs across the country have had waiting lists. So even with every baby boomer retiring, there's plenty of nurses to come in. They just don't want to pay the money. So to get nurses off their back, okay, they do the nurse migration, that's cheap labor. They do this medication aid, which the medication aid is still going to be operating under the nurse's license. So the minute they screw up, then the nurse is screwed. So that'll push nurses out anyway, because nurses worry about their license. That's a lot of times why you see people job hopping, because they don't want to risk their license. So they go somewhere else hoping things will be better. and usually they're not. They're pretty much the same or worse. Because this is all conditioning. So the telehealth is this is the vision that the hospital CEOs have. And it's been on the news. This was 2019. A robot and the future of healthcare. The robot can even lift. That's just freaky. There's nothing good about that. There's nothing advanced about that. It's dark. We have AGV, auto-guided vehicle tech, in the home, in warehouses, in stores. Why not in nursing home, hospitals, outpatient care facilities? Yeah, why not? When you're a morally bankrupt human being and you're a CEO of the hospital, which they're all pretty much morally bankrupt, then this is the vision you see. It's all tech. It's not human beings, because they're not about human beings. You have to have a moral compass to be about human beings. This is like the wet dream for the CEOs. It is. Yet nurses think they can never be replaced. No, they're slowly already replacing you. But they've been doing it long before this nightmare. They've been doing it for years through American Nurses Association with migration. I'm not talking about the people that come here legally, but this is the reason. There's a reason they supported open borders. It's the most irresponsible thing for any nursing organization to support. Because then they're basically saying we support trafficking. Because that's the easiest way to traffic, is to have open borders. Because then there's no checks. So they've been helping the hospitals to get cheap labor. That's why no matter what nursing union you're in, it's not going to do you any good. They just pacify you. And maybe, if you're in California, you get some nurse ratios. Look at what has happened to California. Yeah, you'll get your nurse ratios, but you're still going into communism, and they're going to get rid of your ass eventually anyway, no matter what that contract says. Look, this is what the tech world is, everything to the hospital CEOs. The very people that have been in charge of healthcare, which they've done it through that fourth arm of government, which is the administrative state. The administrative state, which is not in our Constitution, is the American Nurses Association, American Medical, all these associations you hear about. It's why I say these layers are what have destroyed Americans having, our Constitution. We can't possibly be living under our true founding Constitution because we have all these associations that are more loyal to communist countries at the UN and the CEOs as well than we have people that want to protect the values of this country and protect American workers. And when I say American workers, I mean legal foreign citizens too. That includes them. But all this migration stuff has been what all the hospital medical nursing associations have been all on board with for a long time. Just because we now have all come awake to the open border crisis doesn't mean that they haven't been more aligned with that, because they've been at the UN. It's not a new thing. The International Council of Nurses goes back a long time. So it's an alumni. It's another secret society, in my opinion. It just may not be secret, but it's just another damn alumni that think they know everything and they don't have a moral compass. So at every layer, you have these people that have no moral compass. That's how you get to a healthcare system that has CEOs think this is the vision and the future of healthcare. And yet most people that have a heart and a brain say, no, this is not a future of good healthcare. This is a future of healthcare in hell.